The Calgary Police Service has charged 4 people believed to be connected to a number of violent incidents in Calgary throughout 2015, including a kidnapping, a shooting, and a serious slashing. At approximately 1 p.m. on Wednesday, October 28, 2015, a man was standing at the northwest corner of Macleod Trail and 7th Avenue Southeast when he was approached by a man he says was unknown to him. The man asked the victim if he was selling drugs, to which he replied no. The man responded by producing a knife and slashing the victim across the face before running away. The victim sustained a significant cut to his face, walked to a nearby medical clinic where staff called EMS. He was later transported to hospital, treated and released. Brooklyn Jordan Palmantier, age 22, of no fixed address, was charged with 1 count of aggravated assault. He will appear in court for this instance on March 31st, 2016. At approximately 10 p.m. Thursday, November 4th, 2015, 2 vehicles described as a blue Dodge Caliber and a gray Chevy Cruz that were operating in tandem stopped near a group of individuals that were gathered on Stephen Avenue near 1st Street Southwest. The males from the vehicles exited and approached the group standing on the sidewalk. After a short altercation, one male was forced into the gray Chevy Cruz against his will. One of the males from the Dodge Caliber made a deliberate attempt to block traffic to allow the Chevy Cruz to make a getaway. Police believe the victim was kidnapped and was taken to numerous locations throughout Calgary where he was assaulted. Despite the serious assaults, the victim never came forward to police and never reported the incident. A day after the kidnapping on Friday, November 5th, 2015, at approximately 10:30 p.m., a man and woman, both in their 20s, were standing in a 200 block of 8th Avenue Southwest when a blue Dodge Caliber drove up. The occupants of the vehicle discharged a weapon at the man and woman before fleeing the scene in a vehicle. Both the man and woman were injured as a result and taken to hospital in serious but stable condition and have since been released from hospital. A 4-month investigation by the Centralized General Investigation Section led officers to believe the kidnapping and shooting were not only connected but were orchestrated by the same individual. Investigators believe the slashing, the kidnapping, and the shooting were all motivated by drug activity in the downtown Calgary area. As part of further efforts to disrupt this group, a joint drug operation, targeting a number of the people involved was undertaken and several charges were laid as a result. Following this lengthy and complex investigation, Brooklyn Jordan Palmantier, Dean Anthony Alexander, David Joseph Brunel, and Lloyd Bourgeois face more than 25 charges related to these 3 incidents.
Questions for the inspector?
Inspector, you said that it's believed that these were orchestrated by the same individual. Was Palmantier considered like the ringleader in this?
I'm not sure about ringleader, but he was definitely the individual we believe was trying to intimidate the other folks related to these incidents.
So were the victims trying to sell drugs downtown?
Yes.
Okay, and so the people...
Not all the victims, sorry. Some of the victims of this are believed to be part of the same drug network in different spots of downtown. Some of the people that were victimized just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, which is always a concern for us when it comes to these random acts of violence. There's always the possibility that an unintended target would become victimized.
But the intent was to intimidate a rival drug network?
That's what we believe.
Okay. And is the group, you believe, responsible for all these violent acts, responsible for a significant amount of drug dealing downtown?
I don't know about significant, but it would be people involved in drug trafficking trying to intimidate each other to gain more space downtown. As to the quantity of it, I don't know.
Are these guys, is anybody that was arrested or perhaps victimized related to major roundup that happened a little while ago? Were there
No, we believe,
downtown?
I believe those drug operations to be separate.
Okay.
And part of ongoing drug enforcement operations that are undertaken daily in the city of Calgary, not only downtown but across the city.
And within this group, this latest investigation. What kind of drugs were they into?
I believe meth was the drug of choice in these particular incidents.
How'd you find these guys? 3 guys and 1 girl, right?
I believe everybody charged is, yes, there is a female. The slashing incident was caught on CCTV. The abduction was also caught on CCTV and reported by a member of the public, and as was the shooting downtown. So all these incidents were reported as a result of the public phoning in, making us aware of these incidents, and then cooperation by witnesses. The length of the investigation is largely in part, as is often the case with investigations we undertake like this, where we get very little cooperation and the investigations subsequently become very complicated and time consuming. And that would be in large part the reason for the extended investigation in this instance.
Sounds like something out of the movies. I mean, Don, does this happen more than we know in the city, or is this?
No, I don't think it happens where somebody's just scooped off the street like this. I would say is a rare occurrence. Obviously, rare enough that it was reported instantly. It took a substantial amount of time to figure out what actually had occurred. Whether are these people joking around, is like what's actually gone on here, and through good investigative work. Initially by some detectives, some other units of the service that viewed the video, good work by some patrol members downtown. It was able to be pieced together, and then really just investigative tenacity over the period of that 4 months to put it back together, recover the weapon, and this is all with limited cooperation by the people involved, but to garner enough evidence that the Crown supports laying charges without victim cooperation, which we see a lot.
So
Were you
the
able
lack
to
of
ever
victim
find-
cooperation, is that the kidnapping victim? And do you believe that they are on a part of the other group that they were trying to intimidate?
Most of the victims in this, all but one, remain uncooperative in each of the 3 incidents.
Inspector, oftentimes with these particular types of serious assaults or kidnappings, police say we're always satisfied when we make a big arrest like this, but considering the fact that there were multiple events that were connected and there was the shooting which put the public at risk, I mean, can you just kind of speak to just how big a break in this case, and how satisfying is it to see these charges?
Well, it's satisfying from our perspective that we're able to lay charges and that we're able to get some cooperation from people outside of the people that are intimately involved in the event. What plagues us often is the lack of cooperation, where we have criminal activity occur, shootings, things like that, homicides, where we get no cooperation from anybody, and it makes it very labor intensive and very complicated to investigate. So the fact that investigators in this instance were able to really just through good old-fashioned police work, able to track down people that were willing to cooperate, provide evidence, take the time to put it all together in a format that leads to successful charges is always a good thing.
Do we have any indication of, because there are no fixed address, do we have any idea of just how long these people, the accused, have been in Calgary? Or some of them even from Calgary, but just don't have a particular specific residence?
I'm not sure on that.
So, sorry, I'm not sure if you did answer this previously and I just didn't hear, but the kidnapping victim, are they believed to be a member of an opposing group? Is that why they were kidnapped?
I believe they're all related.
So you said all but one of the victims was uncooperative?
No, one.
We had one cooperative victim out of the bunch in this.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
And was the cooperative, were they in the wrong place at the wrong time?
Correct. That's in relation to the Stephen Avenue shooting.
In relation to the shooting, okay.
Yeah.
Was that the man or the woman? Because it was the man or the woman who were shot at.
I wouldn't specify to that. That incident itself had the potential, that could have easily been a double homicide, not to mention people inside the resident, or the restaurant, where there was one bullet hit the window, smashed the window. It could have been a lot worse, and it just speaks to the level of senseless violence that this group was prepared to commit.
Is the one since you only have the one cooperative victim, is that one cooperative victim also involved in a drug network?
Don't believe so.
What kind of thing, how did they help you? Were they able to supply a description that matched some of the descriptions on CCTV? How were they helpful?
Yeah, I believe, I don't know the specifics, but I believe the one victim was able to recount the events, be able to provide descriptions of vehicles, things like that, that we were able to corroborate through video and other means.
Is there any way that that they would know their identity, like the people who attacked them would know this victim's identity? Like, are they being protected in any way?
I don't think so. I don't believe that to be the case.